where Steelers defensive captain Cameron Hayward said the Steelers are, quote, in a state of urgency on the Rich Eisen show. Are the Steelers the most urgent team in the NFL in 2025?
They should be, given the age of their roster, given the drought that they've been in. Haven't won a playoff game, I believe, since 2016. And they continue to show up time after time in the postseason because that's what Mike Tomlin is. The model of consistency, but just consistently above average is what the Steelers have been. Quarterback play could elevate that. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is that difference maker. I believe you just bring back Russell Wilson. You hope that the offense you've built around him, you combine that with the continuity, and you hope that you get a full offseason, no calf issues ahead of the year, and you roll with the punches. Aaron Rodgers would inject a level of volatility and futility based off what I've seen the past couple of years that would not benefit the Steelers.
Yeah, we've had experienced 4 different presidencies the last time the Steelers won a playoff game. Tail end of Obama, the last 3 days.
Wow.
All of Trump's first term, all of Biden's term, and so far all of Trump's second term. It's been a long time since we've seen a playoff win for the Steelers, and they're kind of getting used to it. And that's kind of scary if you're a Steelers fan.
That is weird, right?
It's not like these playoffs are missing something with the Steelers being one and done, 6 consecutive postseason losses.
I'm curious for Tomlin himself if this year they still don't win a playoff game, which is very likely in that tough AFC. Even if you make it, it's hard to win in the AFC. If they lose again, does he finally feel like it's time for a scenery change? Like, does he finally get fed up with it and sick of the fact that they are not able to fix the number one position in all of sports? I can't even hold this to Mike Tomlin like it's all his fault. I see Najee Harris kind of complaining on the way out the door. I see Cam Hayward getting more vocal than we've ever seen him. I don't know if Mike Tomlin is like the one to blame for them not having quarterback success because the quarterback talent hasn't been there. Who's really pulling the trigger and making those decisions? That's who needs to be held to the fire.
When the Steelers were eliminated from the playoffs in the wild card round against the Ravens just last season, all of the conversation on Monday after that, I believe that was a Saturday game too, but everyone wanted to talk about how this feels like a clean breakup. Like the Steelers are okay. Maybe they're afraid of what the future holds if it's not Mike Tomlin. But wouldn't it benefit Mike Tomlin to try somewhere else? Not that it's his fault. That maybe they have kind of sunsetted that relationship and exhausted all efforts and have reached the ceiling.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm a Chiefs fan. Andy Reid, I don't know how many more years he has as the head coach of the Chiefs. I don't know how long he wants to stay in that position. But if Tomlin wants to hold off to be the heir apparent once Andy Reid retires, I would not complain.
Hey, we're kind of seeing it unfold right before our eyes right now in college basketball. The one coach who had some success early on, known as a good coach, John Calipari with Kentucky.
Yeah.
He was there for a long time, and he underperformed there in the tournament for a long time before his eventual exit from Big Blue. Change of scenery, goes to Arkansas, and they're still in the Sweet 16.
And both are better for it because Kentucky's back with Mark Pope, who I openly criticized the day after they hired him, and look at those Wildcats dancing again.
Yeah, we quickly kind of moved on from that, or the Steelers dismissed as to Tomlin the possibility of a change of scenery for Tomlin, a different direction for the Steelers. But maybe we shouldn't have moved on from that topic as quickly as we did.
Definitely not.
Next stop,
we are going to Miami Gardens, Florida.
Were you about to go Miami?
Miami.
Welcome to my Vinos Vitos. Miami.
Because we're going to talk about Miami Dolphins' new backup quarterback, Zach Wilson, who claims he will not be a career journeyman. He said, quote, "I still believe I can be a starter in this league whenever that opportunity comes."
Wow. Oh, that is... Is he preying on Tua's downfall? Why does that quote sound so ominous? This is the same guy that said, if the Jets bring a veteran in here to compete with me, I'm going to whoop they tail. What did he say? I'm going to give them hell. I'm going to give them hell. And then that veteran ended up being Aaron Rodgers, and he like literally laid down and bowed to the altar of him. So
Zach Wilson is saying, I trust that we have a lot of hard-hitting, strong safeties in this AFC East that will give me an opportunity to be the starting quarterback of the Dolphins.
I don't even think you need a hard-hitting safety when you have Tua head-butting guys. Like Tua literally going head first in the guys on a scramble. So Tua might do it to himself. Zach Wilson's 25, 26 years old. He's on a 1-year deal with the Dolphins. He picked Miami likely because he knows he has a chance to sub in and prove himself. The question is, what are you going to do in those games when you do get that opportunity? And if you do what we've seen you do in the years past, then no, you will not be a starter somewhere. You're likely going to be a career backup, and you better keep taking those checks while they're giving them out.
Next stop.
I bring you solace news from Spokane, Washington. I think solace is
That's the wrong way to.
What word was I thinking of? Solemn?
Solemn? Yeah, there you go. Solemn.
Bad news.
Yes.
Unhappy news. Because USC's star women's basketball player Juju Watkins suffered a season-ending injury in the NCAA tournament. The details are not public quite yet
ACL
from the
tear.
Trojans. Oh, it is?
ACL tear. So she's getting a surgery on that ACL. I thought when it first came out, we were confused. It was an ACL. It was an ACL tear. I'm not sure if there's more, right? They probably still have to do the MRI and figure out if there's other damage. She's done for the year. We'll see her next year. This is incredibly, and I hate to use the word crippling, but it is
damaging.
But so Juju Watkins, for those that have not been watching women's basketball in college since Caitlin Clark has left, Juju Watkins is like considered to be like the Jordan of that sport now coming up. She's considered to be the best one. She was the best player in college this year, 24 points a game. She was dragging that USC women's basketball team through their play, through the Big Ten, and she was doing the same with them through the tournament. She's more important to the women's basketball tournament than Cooper Flagg is to the men's tournament. That's the easiest way to put it. Like, she is the single most important person and player, not just to her team, but to that tournament. She was the best show in that sport, and it absolutely sucks for everybody involved, both USC and their competitors, that they don't get to go up against her or play alongside her. Another thing about Juju, she's just such a great presence and such a fun personality. She's so locked in on the court. Like, she is, I can't wait to see her competing in Final Fours and in the national championship and then again in the WNBA. And again, we were robbed as sports fans to not be able to see that happen this year as well. USC, you want to know what happened to their title odds?
What's that? They were a 1 seed.
They were a 1 seed. Entering the tournament, they were plus 550 to win it all. With the news of Juju's injury, they are now plus 2,500. Wow. Like, that is about as stark of a difference as you're going to get. There's no one man in the NCAA men's tournament that you can pull from their roster and say the same thing. Duke won the damn ACC tournament without Cooper Flagg, and not that that league is strong this year, but it still says something. They were barely even challenged. This is incredibly bad, man. It sucks.
So, in women's basketball right now in college, do players leave early? Like, was there an opportunity for her to go to the draft now?
No. Mostly you play all the way through because the WNBA salaries are not worthwhile for you to leave early for that contract. NIL is like quadrupling it, especially when you're the level of Juju. I believe there was one girl who left after her junior year, or at least considered it heavily. Technically, Caitlin Clark had a year of eligibility left.
Okay.
Because of the COVID thing and whatnot. But generally speaking, they do 4 years and go. And that's what you expect from Juju. So she'll have 2 more years at USC. And again, as things stand in the WNBA with those current salaries, there's just literally no benefit. There's just no benefit to leaving. You can stay and play at USC where you're enjoying yourself, you're getting your degree. And if you're Juju, you're likely going to have a shot, 2 more stabs at competing for a national championship. This year for the Trojans, it's absolutely cooked.